Many people in today's society often have the question, what is depression? Depression is a very broad topic and overall affects the mood of an individual. Have you ever felt so miserable that it almost feels like you're all alone? Always feeling like you're helpless, you're worthless, you're lost, you're just not good enough. No matter what you do, you just cannot seem to escape the feeling of unhappiness. People who experience these feelings may often be depressed or have depression. In previous years, depression or major depressive disorder was not taken seriously and was often pushed to the side because people believed it was something they could control. In other words, depression was thought to be a phony disease. As hard as it may seem to understand, depression affects a lot of people. According to American Psychiatric Association, in grief, thoughts of death may surface when thinking of or fantasizing about joining the deceased loved ones. In major depression, thoughts are focused on ending one's life due to feeling worthless or undeserving of living, or being unable to cope with the pain of depression. This statement is incredibly important because people who suffer with depression often get pushed into the category of feeling sad, but that's not always the case. Depression is a serious disease. It affects many people in this world, and people need to understand how depression can really change a family or oneself. Depression has many causes that lead to the disorder. The disorder affects everyday tasks, and depression forces people to find treatment to ease their discomfort. There are many causes that trigger depression, but the leading cause often starts with a downward spiral of negative events. According to NHS website, most people take time to come to terms with stressful events, such as bereavement or a relationship breakdown. When these stressful events occur, your risk of becoming depressed increased if you stop seeing your friends and your family and you try to deal with your problems on your own. People who are faced with stressful events, one after the other, often feel worthless and helpless, leading them to be depressed, as the world would say. Depression can greatly affect an individual's everyday functions in a negative manner. According to Gateway to Mental Health Sciences website, major depressive disorder is a serious illness that can affect everything you do in your life. As a result, people often suffer with depression are faced to find support and help from the people around them. Treatment is recommended to those suffering from depression. Without proper medical care, the disorder can worsen, causing a person to never fully recover. According to Rogel Cancer Center, even people who are seriously depressed can greatly improve with treatment. With this being said, people who seek medical attention have a better chance of recovering and overcoming the feeling of loneliness and sadness and worthlessness and depressiveness, overall trying to better themselves, trying to get the help they need to become a better person for themselves and their family. Without that help, many people often just keep spiraling down, as mentioned above. However, keep in mind that recovery takes time and a person will not recover overnight. It does not take one day to recover from depression. It takes sometimes weeks, sometimes months, sometimes even years. People have to find the right medication, the right treatment, to find out what is seriously causing their depression. It takes a lot of time to figure out what is the root of the problem with depression, and often that's why it takes so long to figure out why someone is depressed. Many people may think depression is not important to today's society. In fact, depression is the leading cause of disability around the world and contributes greatly to global burden of diseases. If more people were accepted for having depression, it would cause the disease to be easier to diagnose and treat, therefore leading people to recover properly and safely and recover the right way. It is not acceptable to recover from depression by using drugs or seeking the wrong attention. Most people need to find the correct treatment to help them overcome the very, very deep pain they feel. Depression is a serious disease. which many people suffer from daily, and should overall be taken more seriously in the eyes of society. If depression were taken more seriously, many people would be able to overcome the depression and find the right treatment that is needed. Therefore, depression is very serious in today's society, and depression needs to be taken more serious on a daily basis. This is What is Depression?